Hey guys, I'm John. You're watching Outside Media. On this video, I'm going to show you guys how to get a small engine that's been sitting around for a little while running again. So stick around. Next to me on the table right here, I have a couple engines that I picked up for cheap. Just found them on Facebook Marketplace. Haven't touched them since April. They both spin over, so that's a good start. Let's see if we can get one of these things going today. Know nothing about these engines. We're gonna start from scratch and you guys are gonna follow along for the ride. Hopefully you guys pick up some tips and tricks and maybe just get some confidence. Since I'm here, I gotta ask, if you guys find value in this, if you enjoy the content I've been making, please push the subscribe button, click on the bell, the typical YouTube stuff. I know what you're thinking, man, I hate when people say all that stuff. No matter, it would really help me out. I would appreciate it a lot. And anything, I'm trying to hit 1,000 subscribers, so if you guys could help me out with that, I would greatly appreciate it. And whatever revenue I generate through whatever channels is gonna get dumped right back into this content. So you'd be directly supporting this. This is what I do for fun, but of course I wanna grow and elevate my content. So just got a quick ask you guys, hit that button for me. I would appreciate it a lot. Let's get on with it. All right guys, I think I picked out this little Tecumseh to start out. The red one is really difficult to manage, being a vertical shaft engine. This one just sits on the table so nice, should make it a little easier to mess around with. So let's see what we're working with here. I'm gonna put the camera up on the tripod and pull this thing over so you guys can see that. We'll try see if we got some spark, check the oil, you know, basic stuff, and we'll see what we can do from there. I'm gonna give this thing a good pull. All right, it turns over. Maybe a little too easy, but you can feel a little bit of a compression bump out of it. So let's see what we got. Get the old school spark killer right there. That's a kill switch in its simplest form. This is all I had to do to pull a spark plug out. Just grab it with my fingers and out she comes. See the piston moving a little bit? Guess we can start right here. That's not the tightest fit, but it grabs. See if we get any spark out of this thing. Making sure I'm in the run position. I mean, anything should be the run position as long as this kill switch is not touching ground. Ooh, I do have spark. See that little spark? Ooh. I don't know guys, this might turn out to be too easy for this video. At least we'll see some action. I'm gonna see what kind of level we're working with for oil. I don't see much. I'm gonna go grab a flashlight. Oh, we do have oil. It's about, see the oil level in there? Just below the fill hole. It's good enough for a start. We'll just throw this plug back in. Seen a good enough spark off of it. Well, might as well just throw it back in. See what we can get this thing to do. Well, the next thing I like to do is give her a little shot of brake clean, start fluid, whatever. Something flammable. See if it pops off. And if you're really lazy, like I usually am, this is a good way to check for spark. Give it some fuel, see if it pops off. If it pops off with a little fuel, You know you got spark, got compression, and it saves you from digging in any farther, or even pulling the plug. So let's see what this thing does. Well, we didn't get anything out of that, so it's kind of curious. I'm thinking since you need spark, fuel, air and compression to make an engine run, we got a compression issue. So easiest thing to try, if you suspect a compression issue, if you got a ring issue, take a little oil, spray it down the spark plug hole, make sure you're getting it on top of the piston, wing it over a few times. Sometimes that helps seal up the rings to the cylinder wall. It's worth a shot. I usually like to go from easiest to most difficult when troubleshooting these types of things. Alright, I can see the cylinder through here, so I'm going to see if I can just give it a little shot of oil from my little oil can and get it down into that top of that piston. See what kind of mess we can make here. Just roll it over slow. Let the oil kind of move around in there. It pulled over like it didn't have a whole lot of compression, to be honest. So you hear things happening in there. Make sure I could see valves moving. That'd be another good thing to check. Yep. Definitely got valves moving. Another thing to cross off the list. While I got it out again, I'm going to hit the spark plug with the old wire wheel. Just because. Maybe it wasn't getting a good spark while it was in there if it's dirty. So some people might tell you not to do it, but I do it all the time, and I don't want to go get a new spark plug right now because it's nighttime. Let's hit it. Looks a little bit better. Alright, I threw the spark plug back in. Just make sure it's tight. Let's see what kind of compression we have now. Oh yeah. We definitely got something out of that. Wow. Alright. While you're sitting there, I'm going to give it the fuel. See what happens. Probably a lot of smoke. Nothing yet. Yikes. Figure out a way to hold this thing down. It smells like it's trying to fire, which it might be just fouling this plug out. thing on the ground where I can hopefully pull it better. Let's give this another shot. Nothing happened. Let's see if our spark went away for some reason. Nope. Definitely still have spark, so maybe our fuel's not making it up there. Well, if my fuel's not making it all the way up there, I'm gonna put some right in there. I got a bottle full of 2-cycle mixed gas from the snowmobile video. Just try and put some of that in the cylinder. Give it a little encouragement and see what happens. Here goes nothing. That's a complete mystery. Plug's all fouled out naturally. Okay. Let's see if it'll do that again. Awesome. Well, that's pretty sweet. We got a runner. I think the next step is to put some fuel in it in the gas tank and see what kind of can of worms we can open with that carburetor, because I want the end of this video to be that thing just sitting there idling on the floor. So let's get to it. See something leaking, say something. All right. Should have plenty in there to do something. And it should be, oh, yep. We got a leak. Flow bowl must be, flow valve must be sticking. Yeah, that didn't stop it. Sop up this fuel mess. And I guess we're pulling a carburetor. Well, in the interest of laziness, I tipped the engine back so the gravity could no longer feed the carburetor. And I'm just going to pull this bottom nut off of the float bowl, nut bolt. Usually a bolt goes through here and clamps this bowl on. And in the interest of laziness, I'm just going to see if I can fix the needle valve and see what we got here. We'll lose a bunch of fuel here. That's why I got this rag down here. Probably just wishful thinking, but nobody ever got hurt from trying something. Don't listen to me, that's not true either. Got our bolt. See the bowl. Ooh, lovely. See if I can get this up in there. Look at that nasty stuff. We'll make sure we clean that out too. The float is pretty disgusting and also sticky, but it might be freeing up here. The needle was just a little bit stuck in there. I'm just going to kind of hit this because I don't think this pin, the float pin, is not really going to want to move. So if I can get this to not stick anymore relatively easily, might just hit it with some brake clean. Put the bowl back on. Get some of this jelly fuel stuff off of there and see what we can do here. Just make sure that moves freely. I might even hit that with some WD-40. You know, you never can be too sure. And oil burns, so I'm not afraid of putting a little bit of WD-40 in there. If that pin hanging up a little bit, that sure is moving a lot easier. So what was happening before was this float was stuck down because the bowl was empty. Fuel came in. Normally that fills up the bowl. Boop. Cuts off the fuel because this little needle back here shuts off fuel flow when that gets to a certain height. And I think it was just stuck. So that should take care of that overflow, overfilling problem. There's not a whole lot going on in these carburetors. There's a big main jet, and usually there's like an idle mixture screw, which is right here. I'm gonna clean this out and catch you in a minute. All right, I'm back. I got the bowl nice and clean. It was nasty, like jelly looking gelatin stuff. We got our float moving freely. I'm gonna put the bowl back on and see what we got. Make sure I line this up the way it looked like it was. All right. I'm gonna spray this out. Generally, you want to make things as clean as you can get them. On more complicated carburetors, it's much more critical. On this thing, I don't think it's going to be a huge deal. We'll level up effort as we need to, as soon as we see results, really. Tighten this up. Not too tight, just snug enough to squish those gaskets. And see if we got a fuel leak. Well, it's sitting there nice. Before, fuel was leaking right out of this overflow hole. So let it sit there for a bit, see if we got any leaks. All right, it's been sitting for about 5 minutes. I got no drips at all. Much improved from what we had before. So let's see if this thing will start and run by itself. How about that? All right, let's see if this thing will start and run on its own. This might be the first time it's run on its own fuel in years. So Making history. Well, I guess we got a little bit more carburetor work to do on this thing, so I went and pulled the bowl off again. I sprayed a little bit up in the main feed hole. I'm just going to pull that idle mixture screw out, see what's behind there, give that a spray. I'm going to count the amount of turns that it takes to go all the way in, about 1 1/4. I'm going to write that down somewhere. And I'm going to pull that all the way out. See what kind of gunk is in there. A little nasty. Clean that off a little bit. And I'm going to do the same thing with the main needle. About 1 1/4. Or about 3/4 of a turn. That's kind of nasty looking too. Clean that out. It was giving me a little leak from the float bowl and the gaskets and stuff, which I expected. I expected and I feared a little bit for who knows how long this thing's been sitting for. Got the needle here. I'm gonna hit it with a little steel wool. There's the before picture. There's the after picture. Definitely has some pitting in it, but I think it's serviceable yet. I got a feeling that main orifice might be plugged up. I'm gonna go grab that blowgun from the air compressor. Okay, I got a little air in the compressor. Let's see what we can do. Can feel air coming out the throat here, so that must mean we got clear passage. Got a little bit. Suppose we could put this back into the needle for the idle mixture. Now I'm going to count my turns after I bottom it out gently. We add 1.25 turns, so there's a half, 1/4. Now in theory, if it was running before, it should run again in that position, so we'll find out, I guess. We'll look up settings if we need to, but we're going with the flow here. Alright, back on the run stand, aka the floor, and let's see what we can do this time. I got some fuel coming from the bottom of this bowl, but that's to be expected. It should run. Give it some choke. Got it off the kill. Get ourselves at TDC. Interesting. Well, now we're pissing again. I think that bottom gasket's leaking a little bit. So hard to get these things to seal back up. Let's save. All right, let's try this again. Ooh. Caught the cord on my zipper. Whew. Okay. Well guys, I just got off the old hand computer and I ordered myself a new carb bowl gasket set for about $6. I should see that here in a couple of days, but for you it'll be a couple seconds next time you see me. Oh, hey there. It's been about a week for me, I guess. It's been like half a second for you guys, but I've been spending time on other things. You guys don't care. I got my little made in China rebuild kit for $6. See if we can get this carburetor to quit leaking and maybe the engine to start running. How about that? Okay, let's see if this thing doesn't spill fuel all over the floor again. Well, it's just not my day today, I guess. I don't know where this thing's leaking from. If I had to guess, it was the edge of the float bowl, but I got a new O-ring in there. Let me look around and see if I can find anything else in this building that might work. Okay guys, I came up with a solution. I had a snowblower sitting over here with a little Tecumseh on it, and I stole the float bowl and the needle, the main needle jet, and it's been sitting there for a couple minutes and it's not dripping, so I guess we had a gasket sealing issue off the bottom needle, I guess. So let's see if this thing will start now. That's all right. Here we are again. encouragement. Back to where we once was. It's pretty obvious we still have fueling issues. I might just go snag the whole carb off of that other snowblower and see what happens. Because I think there's something wrong inside that carburetor. Alright guys, I've been fooling around with this thing for a little bit. I can't figure out why. Can't find a reason why the fuel wouldn't be flowing into the engine. Pulled the carburetor apart. I pulled the one off the snowblower. It's a little bit different, so I don't know. I had to pull the other one off anyway. So I figured I would blow through it, and I can't find anything that isn't like flowing fuel or air. And now I got myself a bit of a mess because I had like some 40-year-old fuel line in there. So here's what we're dealing with right now. Got the cover off the front. Fuel line runs behind the flywheel. It's a good day. But I guess you can get yourself in this far if you want to. So I'm gonna go ahead and replace the fuel line. I'll catch you guys when it's all back together. Maybe we have a restriction in the fuel line. This thing is hard as a rock. We'll find out. I'm gonna start with fresh line, clean the carb, put it back together, try this whole thing again. This has been quite the video. Do a small engine video, they said. It'll be easy, they said. And they were wrong. Well, me and this engine been through a lot together at this point. Had our ups, mostly downs. I hope this is another up. Let's try this again. Oh, well guys, hopefully here goes something. my float height is bad. I think the bowl is pushing the float shut, not letting any fuel in the bowl. Might explain why we have no leaks. See if you get fuel now. Alright. Oh. Okay, maybe not. There's fuel in the bowl now. Oh, what a day. I'm getting some promise out of it. It's a stubborn little motor. I think that's gonna be it for me for tonight and for this video. The title says, will it run? Yes, it'll run. Not that great. If you thought I was gonna give up that easy, you're wrong. I'm pretty determined on this one, so I promised you guys an engine running on the floor. I'm out here recording on my phone. I'm just gonna make this quick, but I don't want to leave anything on the table, so here we go. My engine leaked all the gas out on the floor, so there's probably something going on there, but I'm gonna put the engine up on the table and see if I can get the float right. I don't think it's right. I've done some thinking and researching, and it's the only thing I can think of. So the rest of the car, everything was clean and clear and under control. Let's see what we got here. All right, we're gonna give this bad boy a pull. Or 3 and see what happens. Just filled it up with fuel. I'm not getting any drips. I put in a little fuel shut off right there, so I can avoid losing all my gas. And here goes nothing. Still nothing. Yo, it might help if I turn the gas on. Wow. Smart moves being made over here. I'm gonna let that sit. I suppose turning the gas on helps a little bit, but you guys be the judge. All right, let's give this another go. Runs on choke. Can't even hold that thing. Well, looks like it runs. Good enough to bolt onto something. And check this out. You guys see that back there? little sneak preview. Stay tuned, hit subscribe, hit like if you like this video. Check the description, I got links and stuff in there. I got the Chinese carb kit I used, I got gear, stuff that I use to make these videos, so please check down below. Have a good night, or day, or whatever time of day it is. See you next time.